Hello, YouTube! Welcome to this podcast is personalized Route 2. We're calling all the episodes routes from now on, like in Pokemon. I'm your host, Pinky Culture, and
Dragon Queen.
my co-host. Follow us on social media. I'll drop it in the description, like I did last time. This will be posted on both channels, Pinky Culture and Poketch. So if you're a fan of either, you could just, pop it in any of the channels. So epic. And we're going to talk about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, because that is the Sinnoh remix. That is...
Sinnoh confirmed.
Sinnoh finally confirmed. So I'm going to talk about my thoughts, and then you can talk about your thoughts on the Diamond and Pearl remakes that were announced. As shown on screen, that is a screenshot of how the game was going to look like.
It's so confirmed that even Pokemon themselves, like Sinnoh confirmed. They even said
Sinnoh confirmed. Yeah, they know the meme.
They know.
They know that we've been hyping this up
for years.
Yeah, for years. And the stars were aligning. We predicted in the last episode that this will be Sinnoh remakes, and that the chocolates indicate that.
I manifested.
Sinnoh. Manifested Sinnoh. Yep. We predicted this. Now, I don't like the designs of this Diamond and Pearl remake. I'm still gonna buy it. I still pre-ordered it, but I'm just not a big fan of this design. The chibi Funko Pop looking thing with the weird head. Now that's just the overview, the overworld. Apparently, the battle mechanics look like they would in Sword and Shield and Let's Go, where it's looks like a normal looking model and normal looking models, but the overworld looks like a chibi 3D, kind of like a 3DS game almost. And that's very for me it's like a weird transition going back and forth with that. But I know the game is not finalized. Maybe they'll improve some things here and there, but I don't think, I personally not a big fan of the overworld models. I know some people are. I feel like they kind of gave it the Link's Awakening treatment, but Link's Awakening already was kind of small, but it was a Game Boy game. But I feel like, I don't know, I'm not vibing with this design. I don't mind making characters look small and cartoony, because Toon Link is Wind Waker, stuff like that. Those games are good. The Wind Waker, the Toon Link games are good, like Phantom Hourglass, but I feel like this doesn't work for me. What do you think?
I actually love the designs because I love chibi art. But I will say that a lot of people have pointed this out, and I've noticed it too, is that when they first showed the trailer, the game itself looks kind of dark. I mean, dark as if physically it needs, they need to fix the textures and the lighting. So it would be nice if they get to that.
Yeah, the textures look off, yeah.
So the texture and lighting could use some work. That's actually something I noticed. I think the reason people don't like the designs, I don't think it's because people don't like chibis, or maybe some people don't. It's just as a stylistic choice. It's because I know what they were going for. They kept saying this is gonna be it's almost like saying a 1-to-1 ratio or
a faithful rendition. I think they called it.
Yeah.
And I felt like, okay, I don't mind
But the thing is that when you translate sprite art into 3D, the thing I did notice when looking at, because I saw
they look like the people saying they look like Funko Pop. They look like the character My Sims from the Sims, spin-off series.
Yeah. So what it is, because I saw a lot of fan art, and something I noticed that the proportions are a little bit strange. As much as I love chibi art, and I do love it, the proportions still feel a little bit off, a little bit too exaggerated, especially if you look at the hands. The hands are a little bit too big for the rest of the. So I think what it is that proportions are a bit off. So people are like, I don't like this, and I'm like, I actually love chibi art, but I do see that. I will criticize that, but I think more of my criticism are the textures, and especially the lighting. After seeing the trailer, I was like, yeah, you gotta get on that.
I mean, if they wanted to do a 2D kind of meme, they could have done an Octopath where it's this 2.5D with sprites and stuff. And whatever, but I guess they really wanted to go for that chibi look,
which again I love, but yeah, I definitely do see where people are coming from. Sure. The other thing is that I really do, apart from, because that's only with the chibi characters in the overworld, but then the rest of it looks really nice. Like not counting the textures and especially the lighting, but like the actual houses and the trees. Like, I mean, it looks great.
Right.
You could look at back side to side, because I saw people doing the side to side comparisons. I was like, that looks very improved.
Yeah, like the houses and stuff is fine. So like the character, your guy, like the characters, the NPCs, like look silly. Like I can't take it seriously. Like, and it's not just because they use small characters. I've seen games use small characters all the time.
I think it's the way
the proportions, right?
It's the proportions.
Yeah, something looked off. I'm like, what is this, a mobile game or?
But it's kind of how it is with chibi characters. The proportions are usually a bit off, especially the head's a bit bigger. But there's something very squarish about the designs.
Yeah, it's like Minecraft or.
And just because I'm being critical about it doesn't mean that I'm still gonna buy it. I still do like them though.
Yeah, I'm still gonna buy it because Sinnoh's my favorite region, and they might have some good shit. Like they might improve some of the, like the lore, and they might improve like some of the mythical stuff. Like a lot of stuff that was left behind in the previous games that were supposed to happen got cut off in the American versions, and like Mystery Gift wasn't. Like a lot of it was like. But now if we have internet connection, Mystery Gift is gonna be improved. The Underground is gonna be improved. Multiplayer is going to be improved.
Because I think that what they mean by being a faithful remake is just based on the visual style. I think when it comes to like content and story, it seems that they're gonna have like stuff from Platinum come over.
Yeah.
And hopefully hence the decks too, because the decks was definitely a lot superior in Platinum than it was in
Platinum fixed a lot of issues. I think they're going to build upon Platinum as well. Like they're gonna use better decks, just stuff that Platinum had. They might have a Giratina event, Darkrai, Arceus, Shaman, all that stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Not sure about the Battle Frontier. I don't think they're gonna.
Please, Battle Frontier.
I don't know about that one.
Do it.
I don't know, because like, if you notice that, first of all, like I've noticed that the only games that have Battle Frontier. Wait, no, never mind. It will say it's Emerald. Platinum, and then Heart Gold Soul Silver. No, Heart Gold Soul Silver are not Mother games, and they have Battle Frontier, so
it's possible.
It's possible. Maybe it might be like DLC or even free DLC. I don't know.
Hey,
it might be added later on.
Do you remember what Poketips says?
That what? What did he say?
It was Poketips, right? That the possibility of getting megas in this game.
Yeah, he did say that there's possibility of getting megas because there was plushies that were marketed as basically mega Pokemon plushies.
Plushies or figures?
One of those. I think it was. I don't know.
Merchandise that is gonna come out alongside this at some point.
And they were Mega Evolution. I'm like, this seems interesting. I think they might have megas because Let's Go was like its own thing, but it also had megas. So I think the mega is just a staple at this point.
Yeah, which means it will probably it could just put this in the mega timeline.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think that Zavana Pearl game is going to be in the mega timeline. I see it working. I can see that. It's in the Aura's mega timeline. It's just, I know it's very strange looking. Like I'm looking at the screen right now, but hey, if that's what it is.
Oh yeah. So speaking of looking at the screen, the characters are looking at the screen.
True.
So we're looking at the character, and the character's looking at the screen.
Yeah, they're actually looking at the, and I remember when it starts, it's like showing some kind of event going on Mount Coronet or something, and then something about Red Gyarados. I don't know. I just remember that cutscene.
Also, the Switch is there.
Yeah.
And there's a laptop. Man, they really got everything.
Yep. It's gonna be cool. It might be a good game. I don't know. I think
it's gonna do fine.
So in the presentation, they not just showed this. They showed a lot of stuff.
They did. They updated us. Hey, look, Snap. Which again, I'm very excited for Snap.
So one of our predictions, we're gonna start with the predictions we got wrong. I predicted they're gonna reintroduce the Pokemon Unite MOBA game. Did not even bring it up.
No, that was weird. That was not there.
I predicted a possible Mystery Dungeon Explorers remake shout out, just saying it's in development or just showing that it might
Maybe
come
it's
out.
too early.
It might be too early for that. But I think they will do an Explorers, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers remake. Because Explorers is the more fan favorite, more than the Rescue Team. Like,
Yes.
that, yeah, so Explorers was their peak, they know it, and I think they will, using the same engine and everything, graphics, but just different gameplay and stuff. They might do that. But they did not show it. But it might happen they might announce it next year, you never know.
But they did everything else. They like I think they mentioned like Masters and Go and Cafe and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think they did mention an update for Cafe. Not sure about Go. Did they mention a Pokemon Go update?
I thought they did. They mentioned. I know they mentioned like
The mobile stuff.
a lot of side stuff prior to, because it was definitely a build up because they started with Snap and they gave us a. Well, actually, they didn't actually start with Snap. They first started with this. Do you remember
Some kind of presentation, some kind of like slideshow kind of.
It was giving me sensory.
Yeah, it was
Sensor
overload because I feel like there was some kind of editing mistake or some kind of mistake in the live where the audio was off.
Yeah.
And like there was so many things going on at the same time.
And the damn sound too.
The sounds were weird. I think it's just I thought it was our TV at first, but it turns out a lot of people are having problems watching it. It was because I think there was some kind of connections issue. The audio was off. The presentation, the beginning was off.
No, it was very cool because in that collage of that they showed everything from like when Pokemon first started all the way till now, and they pretty much show all the main series stuff. But someone pointed out that they also showed us some like I think someone said that there was also even a shout out to like Hey You Pikachu, and
yeah. So basically, Pokemon like timeline of all the Pokemon games and spin-offs and everything.
well, not everything, because some people are saying like, hey, wait, everything else got love except for like the GameCube ones. So I was like, that's not fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I saw on the socials. I'm not sure, but I think they may be right.
Huh. Well, they basically went in an overview of the Pokemon history.
Yes.
Okay. And then after that they started announcing games. Pokemon Snap being the first, and then the just like the mobile stuff after. I think Cafe was one of them.
I don't know, I thought that they mentioned Go, but it's probably also I was confused with Masters.
Yeah, one of those.
And then it was really cool because then they showed the DS and they went. It looks like they were going back in time.
Yeah.
And people were like, no way! We were freaking out because then it went to the date.
Yep. Of Diamond and Pearl, and that's when they announced it, and we were right, and it was great.
It was great.
Now, what really threw us a curveball was, I think, the final announcement, right?
Yeah, but
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah, that was.
That is crazy. No one would have predicted this.
Nope.
Like, a game that's... I think this title's off, is it? Like, oh, no.
I found that very, very interesting because I think there was some mention. Wasn't it as someone mentioned it on 4chan or Reddit or something?
Yeah, there's some kind of feudal.
Yeah, but we were all like, eh.
In the past, yeah.
I don't think anyone believed that. It's like, whatever.
The 4chan leak was Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is going to. The remake's gonna take place in feudal Japan. I'm like, there's no way. And then I saw Diamond and Pearl like shown on the screen, and then I was like, oh wait, no, they were wrong.
Yeah.
And then they showed
they said, oh, one more thing, the story continues or something.
Yep, and we were like, wait, is 4chan right? And they were technically right.
Technically. And they watched a Noggin video and like,
Okay, so yeah, there's a YouTuber called Noggin and Loxton, or Loxton?
Loxton and Noggin.
Right. And he predicted, he did a theory video that it didn't really take place in feudal Japan. Remember, Game Freak, Nintendo, they didn't outright said what time period this is.
Yeah, a lot of people just thought it was Edo period, but based on his research, on everything that he saw from the trailer, he was dating it back to the industrial period in Japan.
Right, Japan's Industrial Revolution, and he pieced the pieces together by pointing out that in the trailer some of the technology looked too modern to be in feudal Japan. Like the houses look more modern-ish.
Well, because
you know,
the houses had a different style compared to the feudal Edo period. People were saying.
Right, and I think that makes sense, and also the shinobi being a big part of that. Like
I love how we're technically be ninjas.
Yeah, you basically look like the ninjas look like. So, I think, and I agree with him. I think that these games are not taking place that far back. I think they're taking place
far enough.
Far enough where it's like a serious prequel, but not so far back where you're like caveman, like feudal era, where it's like
they weren't cavemen then.
But whatever, like they were like killing, all that shit. Like
although it's pretty much official that Pokemon are gonna kill you.
Yeah, so it's a more rough. Oh yeah, there was a leak that if you lose all your Pokemon, you're running out of Pokemon,
and you don't dodge and roll and on time, that they will come at you and kill you. This is
yeah, basically, yeah.
It's so funny because you know how in Sword and Shield people used to make all these all these memes of like Pokemon chasing you and shit like that. Yeah, well.
Now this time
this is real.
Yeah, this time like you're.
Stop laughing.
You're on your own. Like yeah, if you lose your Pokemon, that's it. You're gonna get hit. This game might be one of the most ironically probably want to be one of the most violent Pokemon games ever made. Like it might be rated E10 or even teen. They had to explain the fact that you have to
Pokemon are gonna attack you.
Literally attack you, not they attack you and then the screen shows up and then it leads to a turn-based battle. This is like an action RPG. The presentation said that this is going to be an action RPG, very action-oriented, and it implies that you're rolling away from the danger and you have to sneak up on it's very action based.
This is gonna sound really dumb, but I was seriously freaking out at the idea of you being in the overworld with
everything happen.
With Pokemon being in the overworld, which we're already used to, but for them to continue that trend and having you hold a steam powered Pokeball and then throw it in the overworld, I was like, oh my god.
Yes, so this game seems to be very everything is happening.
Is this Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, it's very Breath because Breath of the Wild has its own what do you call it? Time. It has its own kind of like The Sims has its own time where time goes, and is how do I explain it? Like it has its own time mechanic.
Oh yeah, time was very weird in Sims.
Yeah, basically Breath of the Wild and Sims have this very big thing in common where the time goes fast.
I remember when I was playing.
It's 12 p.m. right?
You beat it.
Okay, let's say it's 12 p.m. You're walking around. Time goes by intervals in 5 minutes, 5, 10, and 15. So, 24 hours in the game will be a couple minutes in real life.
Yeah, I remember when I was playing Breath of the Wild.
That's how Sims works too.
Yeah.
So, it might have that time mechanic. The Legends Arceus game.
That'd be cool. Oh yeah, imagine that nightfall. Oh, it's gonna be scarier.
Yeah, it's like you're at night and the Pokemon are coming after you. So I think
it might be worse. Oh, the night crawlers.
Yeah. I think they're gonna borrow a lot of elements from Breath of the Wild because
it's already very obvious. Do you remember the trailer? How they did that pan shot from the same one from when Link was standing on the
And what looks interesting about this game is the battles look like it's happening in real time. It's not like
oh my gosh, that was cool. I remember I was showing you a little video about that of you actually standing in the same place that you were with your Pokemon, and they actually physically move and attack.
Yeah, they fight each other in the overworld. Yeah, it's insane.
They attack the Pokemon and then they come back right next to you.
Yeah,
and they're just wow. It sounds so. For people,
I think it's going to be interesting. You have to watch this trailer for Legends Arceus to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to explain, but the battles happen in real time in the overworld instead of traditional Pokemon games where you battle, your Pokemon comes after you, and then it leads to another screen where it's you have to pick from a menu.
Yep.
And the turn-based happens. This one seems to be in real time. I think there's going to be commands, you pick your move and stuff.
Obviously.
But I think there's going to be an auto mode where Pokemon fight each other automatically, and then you might have to call a move, and it does it. I think there might be a mix of both, like in the anime. it's gonna be. I think it's gonna take elements from Breath of the Wild, and it's gonna be a little bit like the anime, where you have to like, when you're in the wild, you kind of have to like figure out on your own. Like, you know what I'm saying? How in the anime is very like the trainers are actually in danger and stuff.
For the people that are gonna think that we're kind of crazy about freaking out about these type of mechanics that are being seen in other kind of in
other action RPGs, it's because this is the first time Pokemon ever done something like this. So
yes, it's a big.
This might be a big deal. This might change Pokemon forever. Like
yes.
So I'm actually a lot of people are more excited about Legends Arceus than Diamond and Pearl.
But it's bad because it's new, and the idea of them trying.
It's a dream. Like people wanted this for a long time,
yes.
but just didn't know how to explain it. Like
yeah.
I kind of said I would love a Pokemon survival game, but that's kind of like action oriented. Now this is what I wanted. Like I wanted this for so long, and I didn't know how to explain it so well because it's such a foreign concept in terms of Pokemon. Like how will that work? And well, they did it. They seem to have done it.
The Madmans did it. Well, not yet because it's coming out next year. We'll have to see. But yes.
Yes, it seems to be. It's still in development. It looks a little rough in the trailer, but it might actually pull through. They might actually pull through in this one.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of pulling through and looking kind of rough, I have to go here now, but I have to go to the point that I'm about to say. That imagine this game on a Switch Pro.
Yeah, so we're going to the Switch Pro talk. Right.
I have to. It's just that you mentioned about being kind of rough. Like, yeah, but.
Yeah, but once it's perfected, it might be. Now, a lot of people say
Pokemon 4K.
Right, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, Pokemon, Nintendo Switch Pro is not coming out. It's not coming out." Well, apparently there was a leak or something, an article on Bloomberg, which is like a major newspaper. Not sure if it's a newspaper or news website. The type of people that read this pay $35 a month to read it. So this is like very like bourgeois people reading this, right? This is major news. It's not like Nintendo Life or one of those like speculating people. This is serious stuff. They talk about supply chains. They talk about things like production, major stuff. And they said
they always tend to have the inside information.
They have inside because it's a major. It's what the big boys read. It's not. This is not like. This is big boy news. Right. So your dad probably reads the Bloomberg if you listen to this. So the reason talk about this because they said the Nintendo Switch Pro might be in production starting June. And not only that, they straight up gave us specs. They said it's going to be 720p with an OLED screen. An OLED screen is what your Android phone, whatever your phone uses, the screen that your phone has, that material.
Well, not Apple, just the Android.
The Samsung phones, but I think a lot of them share the same stuff. Like the OLED is very common in your smartphone. That material in the screen. It's going to be handheld 720p. Now they didn't really specify like if it's gonna run better, like how is it gonna run, what chip specifically, but they said 720p handheld but with a better screen. So it's the lighting's gonna look a lot better, the quality's gonna look better, even if it's portable in 720. It's gonna look nice because it's OLED screen, and it's gonna be 7 inches instead of the Switch being 6.2. It's gonna be 7 inches. That's not a huge difference. It's less than an inch, but it might make a slight difference, but the OLED is what people are more hyped about because the overall screen quality being at the equivalent of a smartphone, $1,000 smartphone.
I think it was for the best that they didn't make the screen too big because then the regular Switch is already pretty heavy on when you play long term.
Yeah, so. The handheld Switch it was so heavy and bulky and stuff that I had to get a light for it to be easier on my hands when I'm doing. So, the major part is when you put it on the dock, it's going to display 4K. 4K.
I can't wait to play Sinnoh in 4K.
Like, that's crazy. Like, Nintendo, like, with that's a bombshell. If this is true, like, a lot of people saying Look, a lot of times when I see leaks and rumors and quote unquote leaks and rumors, I'm like, I usually dismiss it. But this one seems legit. I feel like I have a strong gut feeling this one is the bombshell story.
Seriously, I cannot wait to see Arceus in 4K.
Exactly.
God in 4K.
Exactly. Like, this one seems like a big one. This seems like the bombshell story. And another thing, it's a 4-year anniversary of the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch came out 4 years ago, and I think they in an interview they said that they're halfway through the Switch's full lifespan.
I think that's what they kind of were implying.
They did imply that, but they basically said we're halfway through, and that was in 2021 this year. They said so. My prediction is that the Switch is going to keep going until 2025. Then it's over. Then a new thing will be announced. And
yeah, they keep milking this, man.
Yeah,
it's more about like
8 years is a good lineup.
It is, but it's more about getting to passing the Wii.
Yeah,
past the Wii on sales.
Right, they're close to they're getting there to passing the Wii, and I think So I think the Pro might be announced maybe this year, but might come out next year. Maybe 2022 holiday release.
Yeah, cool, and then it'll come out alongside Arceus.
Yeah.
Or people are saying like Breath of the Wild, which that'd be cool too.
I don't think it's gonna come with the Arceus game. It might, but like as a bundle. But remember, the Legends Arceus game is announced for next year, early next year.
I know.
And the Pro, I'm predicting to be a holiday release. So they might do a bundle. Like how Mario Kart 8 has a bundle, even though Mario Kart 8 came before, the bundle for the Switch. So they might do it. They might have a.
It's funny that people are thinking that this could possibly come out with Breath of the Wild 2, but we don't. The thing is, remember the Nintendo Direct, and when they so about Breath of the Wild 2, we're
still in development. Yeah, we're still in development.
It was so sad.
They said they're still in development. We're working hard and we're still in development. So,
it's a possibility it might not even come this year.
No, definitely not. I think it's going to be I think this is my prediction. I have a strong prediction for this. The Pro might come out late 2022 as a holiday and line up with Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever. It's going to be called Legend of Zelda something. I don't think it might be even called Breath of the Wild. They never did a 2. Zelda doesn't do that.
Oh, no, I don't think it's going to call it 2. It's just people are just calling it 2 because we don't know the name.
Right. So the new Zelda game is going to come with the Pro.
Wait, they never use numbers?
I don't think. I think the only time they did that was with the NES.
Oh, yeah, Zelda 2.
Yeah, but they never did that again. Every game is its own thing. Okay, so. And then that's why a lot of fans piece things together because everything has a bit of lore. Which makes the Zelda franchise very lore heavy. Very, so much to it.
So, yeah, it's a Switch Pro.
Switch Pro, I think is going to come out holiday 2022 alongside the sequel for the new Zelda game. I think that's what it is.
Wait, that far out? Wow.
I think it makes sense. Nintendo said we're still working.
That's over a year. Over. I mean, all right.
Yeah, that's why I see it happening because if they said that it might be in production starting June, it might take a while for it to fully
Yeah, maybe you're right. Because people are saying maybe the possibility of this year, 2021 holiday, but.
I mean, maybe the Pro might come out and look. Breath of the Wild is definitely not going to come out. The sequel is definitely not coming out this year. I think it's going to come out next year.
It's just.
But the Pro that could come out this year or next. The Pro I'm not 100% on, but I'm 100% that Zelda will not come out this year. It just won't happen.
Yeah, I got it. No, the thing is, I was thinking about how. You're right. Maybe they could announce the Pro come summertime.
Yeah, I think there might be another
because
direct.
because they need to give the Mario Switch and the Monster Hunter Switch enough time to sell units before they announce a revision because then those won't sell.
Right.
Because right now, remember that they have the Mario 35 red and blue Switch for sale now, and then the Monster Hunter at the end of this month. So they need those to sell decent amount of units before they announce the bombshell of a revision.
Right. So I think there's going to be another Nintendo Direct later this year, for the second half. And,
to show the holiday games, to show the Pro.
Yeah, and then they're might announce Pro. They might announce all the holiday games,
and it'll break the internet.
And then 2022 stuff coming out in 2022. I think that's what's gonna happen. And maybe that Direct might show some stuff from Breath of the Wild too, but not sure.
Man, Pokemon 25 was a good time.
Yeah, that was fun. I liked that presentation.
It was a really good presentation, and then the concert was nice. It wasn't very long, but the concert of Post Malone was very good. The virtual concert was fun. I ended up going to Nintendo New York. You should have been there.
I told you to get some McDonald's.
I got McDonald's that day.
But you didn't buy me any Nuggies.
The podcast is still going. Don't talk about Nuggies.
Nah, I'm gonna keep the Nuggies bit. We're doing Nuggies. I don't edit this. I don't even edit this, bro. I just upload as is. I think we're good, right? We mentioned the 4-year and the Pro. Yeah, no, I think
happy 4-year anniversary, Switch.
Thank you, Nintendo.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna simp for you this one time.
Okay.
If you actually pull this off, I'll be eternally grateful. Like that. Oh, one last thing I want to talk about. I don't think the Pro is the last thing they'll do when it comes to the Switch. I think they said there's going to be a family of systems. And I think there's going to be another member of the family. I keep saying this and never going to let it go. Nintendo Switch Home. I'm sorry, but if they want to, they might have the Pro with this, which is a hybrid, which is much more powerful than what we have, which basically is confirmed. But if they want to do a cheaper version where it's home console only, it just makes sense. A 4K home console only as a cheap alternative if you want to play 4K without spending more money or having a hybrid thing. It just, if they do a Lite which is handheld only, they have to do the other one. I think that one will be the last thing they do.
Yeah, I think it would have to be because
they keep pumping this.
It's
think of the 3DS. Had the 3DS, the new 3DS, and then the XL, and then they did the 2DS, and then the new 2DS. They always have different versions.
But they tend to do more versions for their handhelds than they do them.
But the Switch is a half handheld. They might do another lights improvement. They might have new lights, which is better battery life or
don't make me buy more lights.
The OLED screen.
Don't make me buy more lights.
I think that the light is just gonna have a slightly better models coming in the future. It might be just called the new light or just light, but
I would love
the Nintendo Light Plus, Switch Light Plus. I don't know, but I don't think that if they do a new light, I don't think it's gonna be a major difference from the current light because portable systems are just not as powerful. They're meant just to be convenient. They're just convenient. Well, I think that they're going to push for the Pro, obviously, and then the alternative to the Pro will be the home model. It's almost like a reverse. The alternative to the Nintendo Switch was the Lite, if you want to just have it on the go. So, the Pro's alternative might be the home, where it's you just have it for, you could connect it to a monitor, or you could connect it to a TV, just bring it with you, and it's a cheap alternative. Might be come out to $150 to $200. Instead of the $300 plus. I don't know how this is going to be. It might be $300, it might be more. The Pro, where it's it might be a little bulkier and things like that. So they might just sell you a box that could have Joy-Cons wirelessly. It won't have the Joy-Cons in it, but you might be able to use the Joy-Cons still. I don't know, and it's going to work with the Pro Controller and everything. It's just the difference is it won't have the portable thing docked. It's just gonna be like a box or something like that. That's what I think they're gonna do.
Well, they might give it some style. So maybe
it'll be a box, a nice looking box. It might be a nice looking box. Easy to connect. You just plug in, put the HDMI cable, the power adapter, done. That's all you have to do.
A nice looking box.
Yeah, AC adapter, done. HDMI cable,
Did you
done.
hear yourself?
Connects in seconds. Done. Nice look. It could be cool designs. You could put skins on it, stickers. I don't know. And I think that's gonna be the next meme.
Imagine the box, rather than being a box, maybe it's just the shape of the Switch.
So yeah, I see them. I see that being the last thing as like the last, because like the light might not get much love. I don't know. Maybe they might add an OLED screen and better battery life.
Well, I would like the light to get a Pokemon thing.
Right. Yeah, they might do some renditions for it, like everything, but the major thing is going to be the Pro, and I think you're going to have a home model, which is a cheaper alternative to the Pro. Because they always have budget stuff. Like for example, the new Nintendo 3DS was pretty pricey for what it was. Like it was just a 3DS that could play certain games, and it runs better, and you could play SNES. But then the new 2DS came out, which is a lot cheaper, and it came with a free game. And you can play the same stuff as in new Nintendo 3DS. You can play like all the same games. It has a gyro thing. You can play SNES games. So they always do that. They always do like a new shiny new thing, and then the budget version of the shiny new thing. Now it's funny because when the Wii, they didn't really do that for the Wii. They just did a Wii, and then they kind of did a smaller model, which looked bad. And instead of doing the Wii,
it was red, right, or something.
Yeah, and instead of doing the Wii HD, which everyone wanted, they just jumped the shark and in their new system entirely, which was a complete and utter failure in terms of sales, and it was so bad that like they had to cut their budget. Like
it's so bad because
Nintendo like were like on the verge of fail. Like it was, people thought it was over. Like
people thought it was over. But I'm not gonna defend the Wii U, but there's some aspects of it that I would like to be brought over. Yeah,
Wii U did some things correctly. Like they improved the Virtual Console, which the Wii HD could have done that. Like a Wii HD system would just same as the Wii plays in HD, and it has improved Virtual Console. Like it wouldn't be much.
Actually, speaking of like improving and giving us like a revision and this pro stuff, can you just add like more like
exactly
themes, and then also maybe folders, but not just that, but the
better OS.
Like the
streaming services.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. But I was gonna say the whole idea of the Virtual Console.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no Virtual Console. The online service.
It's kind of.
I'd rather pay more and have a better service than pay $20 a year, which is cheap, good price, but the system sucks. The service sucks. Online is weak. Has constant lag. The games that they offer, the NES and SNES games, were so limited. They promised us 2 games a month, and they dropped it altogether. They haven't given us any games until recently. They gave us a small batch.
What was that thing that SpongeBob said about the Game Boy?
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might do that. And also, like, I want some N64 and GameCube and Wii. Like they were supposed to. Like, they did Mario All-Stars, and they're canceling it after March because I assume they're going to start selling N64 or GameCube and Wii games.
So I watched the Pyra and Metra, that's her name, right? The ladies from Xenoblade 2, the Smash trailer today. And I just remember that Sakurai said that he's been in charge of making the promo trailers for when they really the reveal trailers for the characters.
Yeah,
he's been in charge of those since the beginning. Apparently, that's what he said. He writes the scripts and all that stuff. I was like, wait, so he's in charge? He's been in charge of killing Mario. Yo.
Exactly. Yeah, poor Mario, man. They're really getting rid of all the Mario stuff. Not just 3D All-Stars, Mario 35, like, they're just getting rid of everything. Now, but my theory is that they're going to revamp the entire online system. And this is not just backed by the fact that Mario's being killed off in March, after March. It's also the fact that I saw this article that said that, I wouldn't be surprised if it's also a Bloomberg article, that the Nintendo did a complete 180 for their online servers. They completely updated all the way to modern online servers. They're up to date with the modern, as everyone else. Like they're not using Windows 90 was it 95 or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. It was really funny. I remember seeing that on the social.
Yeah, and then they completely updated their OS when it comes to the online servers, which is great. I feel like they're really trying to push an improvement for the online. I think they might have a different a tier system, like I think that's what Xbox does. They have a tier system when it comes to the online service. You pay a little more, and you get better, like more games. Like you get free stuff, or you get better server, better service online, like less lag, all these things. Like I feel like if I have to pay a little bit more a year, but I get a better service, I'll do it. I don't mind it. I want to break the bank. $60 a year. Lots of people used to pay that much for Xbox, Xbox Live. So I think that like a Nintendo, a huge improvement for the online service, and as well as the the virtual stuff, the old stuff.
The virtual console. That we wish that's what it was called.
Well, no, I don't think it'd be a virtual console, but it's the Nintendo Online service where they have like free games, more of that stuff, improving the menus, the OS, just those little things would add a lot more.
Yes, please add quality of life.
Quality of life stuff, really. Like, and I really feel like that's what's going to happen after this month, because if they're pulling away Mario, they're going to have to replace it with something a lot better. And I think there's going to be a new virtual console or some kind of online service where you get to have the...
I'm laughing because I'm thinking about the memes and people have been doing about Mario getting killed off after the 31st.
Yeah, Doug Bowser. Really, the guy named Doug Bowser is just pulling the plug on Mario. Very sus.
Yo. Seriously, what are they gonna do with the rest of the physical copies that don't sell? Just burn them or something?
They're gonna just stop production. People are gonna have to be like getting creative. They're gonna be scalpers. It's gonna be like the price is gonna go all the way up, and there's gonna be a huge market for that stuff, for those games. Years on.
But it's really weird because one thing to
watch in a couple of years, you're gonna have a Mario All Stars copy for like $10,000 on eBay.
Maybe what's really weird is okay, stopping the production of physical copies for a game, that makes sense. Stopping like digital copies for a game, that is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's gonna lead to a lot of like bootlegs. It's gonna lead to a lot of like piracy.
Yeah.
It's gonna lead to a lot of piracy.
I mean, technically, these games exist outside of just having them in a pack of 3, but still.
So yeah, if they don't if they don't compensate this loss, like if they don't like maybe sell us the games again, or like have it in.
I think
that's
the
online
plan. As people were saying that they're probably just gonna put them in the eShop or something.
They might, or they might really have it in the online service. I don't know.
I don't know if they'll. I don't think they'll do the online service because that. I think they'll probably feel weird. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna put it in the online service because you already paid 20 a year. That'd be kind of strange for them.
I said they might have tiers.
Oh.
They pay more and you get like more stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think they might go up to N64, and then like maybe the other stuff could be sold as games in the eShop, like Wii games could be. It could be they might recreate the Wii, almost recreate the virtual console, like recreating the wheel. Just they might pull that. I don't know, because they do re-release old games all the time. They call it, but they just under different names, like Sega Classics, or like major games get re-released into the Switch. They do that all the time. But they just don't call it Virtual Console. They just release a game and call it something else. I think Virtual Console TM is not...
trademark.
Yeah, I think that might be done for. They're experimenting with different things. Which I was completely fine with Virtual Console, but they want to like make new things. They want to like innovate, whatever. Have the equivalent of Game Pass. With Game Pass but for retro games. If they want to pull that, that's cool. I don't mind it.
Game Pass does sound like a good deal, though.
Yeah, the Game Pass sounds like a good deal. Like, yeah, $10 a month for a bunch of games, but they might just do. I'd saying like $60 a month or $60 a year, which is equivalent of $5 a month for several retro games. If they added more games and they were really consistent with it, I wouldn't mind it. I would think that'll be the equivalent of Game Pass for retro Nintendo stuff, like. It could be a big thing. Instead of just a straight up virtual console, they might like take the the streaming service route. That might work. That might be a big thing to compensate for this huge L from Mario.
Poor Mario.
Well, anyways, I think that's a good way to sum this all up to end this podcast. We went over pretty much as we can so far, and next episode we might talk about any other things that have been announced or any rumors, leaks, creepypastas.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know what's gonna happen
in 1 week.
Yeah, anything can happen in the next week. This podcast is personalized just for you. Thanks for listening, and have a good day or night.